Yeah, man, sup my purples? My name is Blessed Beats. Welcome to the Black Hole. This place, Redman. I've been, of course, a big Redman fan since I was a youngin'. One of the influences that made a white boy like me go out and do some illicit drugs. Jokes aside, I've always loved Redman's sense of humor. He feels like a relatable type of guy, chill, laid back, not that super serious type, you know what I'm saying? And first and foremost, he's made some great fucking music. Muddy Waters is my favorite. It's probably, I'm the only one with that. That one is my favorite in the whole world. Number 2, There's a Dark Side. Number 3, maybe a surprise, Malpractice. I love that album. Anywho's, when I saw that Tracklib was throwing a competition where you could produce a song for Redman, I thought, hell, I gotta hop on that. Tracklib is a great service, you know, and I gotta do a service for my own country as well because the founder is from here, Stockholm, Sweden. So shout out to you. Good job, man. It's not sponsored. You're welcome to sponsor me. Contact me somewhere. It's a great alternative when you're a sampling beat maker and you don't want to worry about that whole hassle and process of finding the legal representatives to clear the samples and whatever for releasing it. They got a library for samples there, which you can dig through and find whatever sample suits your flavor. Moving on from my old mindset where anything but sampling vinyl was shit. I think most of us are past that by this point in time. So I think it's very smooth, especially now with the Maschine Plus or any other standalone device. If you got the MPC Live, MPC 1, I would definitely call that a standalone device because you could run it on battery and you can just flip out your phone, get on Tracklib, scroll through there, plug it in, and sample straight away. Off you go. So I made this beat, and I figured maybe I could teach you a thing or two about the process. It's a very simple beat, but let's have a look-see at it, all right? Let us go. My thought process was first, what would Redman like? And then I reminded myself that anytime I think like that, I end up with something that neither Redman or I like. So I just make something that I like, and it doesn't matter which rapper or artist it's about. That is my philosophy. Just make something that you are vibing with and don't worry so much about anything else. And if the frequencies between the two creators or more synchronize, then it's a beautiful thing. If it doesn't, then fuck it. So let's have a look at what's going on here. You see, it's very bare-boned. It's only 4 groups here. One with drums, one with a sample, one with the bass sound that I'm not even using, and then this one is sawtooth wave that I use for controlling the talk box. So I'm gonna record some talk box onto this later. I've just been experimenting with freestyling on it, but that's probably gonna be the hook part. Anywho's, the drums, you can just load up any kit here by pressing browse and going to groups, and in this case I use the Faded Reels kit. A lot of the times I'll just put together my own kits with my own drum sounds or whatever, but there are so many dope kits when it comes to boom bap in the Faded Reels kit that I had to use that. Downside, it's pretty heavy on the CPU, so you better stick to 1 or 2 of those groups because the effects chains are just incredibly long on them. That's why it's a CPU hog on the Maschine Plus. But I loaded one of those groups up, and if we take a look at the pattern, very simple. Simple as that, and record it with no quantizing. It doesn't matter how many takes it takes to get it right. I probably had to do it like 3 or 4 times before I nailed it down, but I think it's very important that if we zoom in here, you can see the kick is very spot on. The snare a little bit lagging. The hi-hats here, I don't know, we got a double trigger. That's not supposed to look like that. I think one good key for a swing like this or a groove like this, you don't even think about it when you're doing it, because what you're doing is you're sitting down and feeling what kind of rhythm do I have in me right now, and you record it and play it. But I've noticed sitting down and analyzing it afterwards that some pillars, on the whole bars, it's pretty straight on the beat. 2 measures in, I tend to end up slightly behind the beat. On the whole bars, it's always straight on. And in between, you can really slop it up. I think if we're going to break this down to some sort of a rule, you can get really crazy as long as you have your pillars here being relatively spot on to the rhythm. The upbeat, 2 measures in, the upbeat, 2 measures in. As long as those are relatively close, there's enough regularity in there for the brain to recognize it as a tight groove or rhythm. And in between that, you can go pretty bananas. Just keeping it like slightly off grid like this will give you a good enough feel. And granted, this is not a huge swing. Like this is the furthest away from the grid that it's straying. It's nice to have there in between the measures. In between the measures, you can let it slip off the grid a little bit more. Ahead of time, I don't understand that. Sliding back, yes, I understand that. Okay, moving on to the sample. I listen to the sample. I go, yeah, I'm feeling this right here. I like that. The way I chop samples, I always use, I usually don't use the slice functions. I just go hold duplicate and move it. So I'll find my first chop. Where is that? Nice. Okay, we have that. And when you hold duplicate, press one pad and the other, you got your copy right there. You don't have a copyright, but you have the copy right there. Nice. And actually, before you start copying shit, you can go into pad mode and set the choke group to 1. I didn't do that in this case. And right now, if we go out of the sampler and take a look at the type, it's set to ADSR right now, which means you need to hold it down. And I like to do that and shorten the release a little bit so you can get a snappy. Because then you can play around a little bit more with it on a basic level. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I had first. Let's lay that down. All I had first was those 3 samples. Just very simple. The pillars. So that's all I had, and then I started scouring the sample for other parts to fill out on that to create a little bit more variation. Still keeping it simple, but spicing it up a little bit. So, same technique there, just scrubbing throughout the sample. And I found these other parts. And there we have something else happening. I double that pattern so we have 8 bars there. And I found this string part in the sample and applied a high pass filter to it, just with the regular built-in sampler filters. Sounds like this originally, so if you want to put that on top of your original samples, you might want to do something like this. So this becomes like an extension if we rewind a little bit. So it floats into there and creates for a nice transition, you know what I'm saying? And that's the foundation for this. All we need right now is a bass line, some sprinkles on top of it, and then we arrange it and call it a day. So yeah, let's do that. When I was gonna look for a bass sound, I found this synth lead. It's the Monarch, the Blubber preset. Just played a couple of octaves up to use it as a synth lead instead of a bass line. So we're gonna play, I can't resist. I gotta put a little synthesizer on there. Microphone. Strap this baby on.
I need somebody to buy my shoes.
Alright, I hope that you enjoyed this format. Don't forget to join us in the Black Hole Discord. Check out all the other dope beat makers in there. Share some tricks and advice, you know what I'm saying? I hope you like this format that I'm doing right here. If you did so, please let me know, and let me know in the comments anything else you would like me to do with Maschine. It is pretty superb. Badran Klak, boom! Amazing. Okay, bye-bye.